So talking today about moths, in particular the damage they can do to wool and natural fibers. And I never had any problem for years and years with moths. I didn't think here in Colorado they were really a big concern. And it wasn't until I found real small holes on one of my suit pants, my woolen pants a little while ago, that pretty much ruined that particular pant. Also, I had a handful of fabrics that were these guys. They were excess material from suits in the past that we had worked on, and I neglected them. They were in the corner of my home office for a long time, a couple years, and I didn't think anything would happen to them, but they were really chewed up. And if you kind of get a glimpse here, this was just a buffet for the larvae, not the moth themselves, but their larvae would actually will start devouring your natural fibers, even silk as well. And I mean, it's kind of comical. They just really went after it. So I'm sure they had a good meal because there's a lot to eat there. This was excess fabric, not a real big loss, but this is an extreme example of what can happen if you have a problem with moths and their larvae. So really, it comes down to kind of nooks and crannies of your closet or dark corners that aren't really disturbed too often. That larvae, they can kind of grow, and if they're not disturbed, meaning vacuumed up or even closed, so there's kind of move a little bit in the closet, that can kind of shake things out. Or you can do cedar mothballs. There are more chemical-based options. I prefer, I would say, these cedar balls, and moths don't like the smell of cedar or lavender if you wanted to use lavender flowers. But these will just kind of put a couple in the back of our cupboards or our closets, corner of the room, whatever you want to do. A couple of these that we would put in a little bag and hang from our clothing racks, just to be extra sure that in our shop here we won't have any concerns. But moths are a thing. They certainly are in Colorado, and it depends obviously on a case-by-case basis. But when in doubt, have a couple of these little cedar balls in the dark corners of places, and hopefully you can avoid having the buffet that these guys got after.